مرحبا واهلا وسهلا فيكم. Hope you're well and have a wonderful day. Welcome to another session of learning some Levantine Arabic phrases. And in today's phrase, as you see on the screen, we'll be learning some phrases when it comes to talk about money. So we're going to learn a couple of these phrases. So we've got similar phrases in Arabic, and I think equally is used a lot in English and other languages. So hopefully you enjoy and find it helpful. Let's have a look. Our first phrase is ناقصني مصاري. Na'as, which somebody is lacking. So na'as, which means lacking, in maths it means minus. Na'asni, I'm lacking or I lack. Masari, which means money. The overall meaning, it means I'm short on money. Na'asni masari, and that is the phrases for I, man or woman, would be used for both. So male or female. So for both would we use the same phrase. ناقصني مصاري. Some of you may ask, how do we conjugate it with he and she or them or we? You would need to go back to look at the possessive pronouns or the ownership pronouns, which I've covered extensively in a number of videos. But I'm going to show you the conjugation for he and she. So you would say ناقصه and ناقصة. So ناقصه, he is short of money. So ناقصه, and that is the possessive pronoun for he, third person. And on the other side is ناقصة, and that is the possessive pronoun for she, third person. So ناقصها, she's short on money. ناقصة, ناقصه. And if you're talking about yourself, so I, male and female, so you'd say ناقصني, ناقصني مصاري, ناقصني مصاري. Oh, our next phrase, مفلس. مفلس, مفلسة. مفلس, that's the active participle. It's used a lot, as you know, in Levantine Arabic. مفلس, it's the active participle, and it would be used for I masculine, you masculine, and he. This would be used with the male version, and this is the female version, so man, and this would be used with woman. So مفلس and مفلسة. And the literal translation and the overall meaning means I'm broke. So مفلس, مفلسة. Our next phrase, عايش على القلة. عايش على القلة. And that is if you are talking or referring to a man. عايش على القلة. So عايش, which means living. And that's the active participle. And as I earlier mentioned, the عايش here would be used with I masculine, you and he. And عايشة, that's the female version, would be used for woman. So you would say عايشة, that would be with I, woman, you and she. So عايشة would be used with I feminine, and you and she. So عايش, عايشة. Going back and talking about the importance of the active participle, this is the reason. You've got one conjugation could be used for three subject pronouns, could be used for three people. So that's the importance, and that's the nice thing about active participle. And this is one of the reasons why the active participle is widely used in dialect, and you would see that a lot in everyday language. So عايش على القلة, قلة, which means the little. It comes from the adjective alil, which means little or few. So the overall translation is somebody who's scraping by or is living with bare minimum, with barely having enough money. As you see here, they're very descriptive, and they're talking and referring to somebody's situation. It's not a criticism, but it's something that we tend to use, and probably in all cultures, when it comes to talking or describing somebody's situation. So let me go over again, and it's عايش على القلة if you're talking to a man, عايشة على القلة if you're talking to a woman. عايشة على القلة. But going back again, عايش and عايش would be used for three subject pronouns, as I mentioned earlier. And if you need a little bit more information on the active participle, I've made, I think, 5 dedicated tutorials to that. So have a look at it, view it. Don't forget to ask your questions. If you have any questions, just leave them there, not here. so I could go and watch. And sometimes if you ask questions, try to write the time code. It just would save me a lot of time through going through everything I wrote, because most of these tutorials, they take a lot of time and effort to make. And so yeah, if you ask a question, just write the time code. That would save me a lot of time instead of going through the whole 30-minute footage. Our next phrase is عايف حاله. عايف, which means like somebody who's fed up. حاله, hal is the status or the situation. So عايف حاله, this phrase would be used to refer to somebody who's pinching the pennies. You know, try to spend as little as possible. So he's fed up with the situation. عايف حاله. And عايف حاله would be used for a man, to describe a man. And if you want to describe a woman, so it would say عايفة حالة. عايفة حالة. عايف حاله, to talk about a man. عايفة حالة, to talk about a woman. Referring back again to the time code. So yeah, if you all have any questions, please write your time codes. It just would save me a lot of time, and try to keep it a little bit clear from the text, because then the software or YouTube think that it's a link and it will block it straight away. So try to keep the time code away or with a bit of a distance from the text, because sometimes I go through the comments and I reply to all of them, but sometimes some comments getting blocked for, you know, silly mistakes by leaving the time code very close to the text. Then it forms the equivalent of a link. Then YouTube blocks it automatically. Then I won't see your question. So sometimes I'll have to go and view the blocked comments, and there I'll see a lot of your questions. So try to do that and leave a bit of gap between the time code and your question. Again, the phrase عايف حاله for a man, عايفة حالة for a woman. Our next phrase, عم يشحد الملح. عم يشحد الملح. Shahad, which is to beg. So shahad, shahad, which is to beg, and al-milh is salt. عم يشحد الملح, he's begging for salt. And obviously for feminine or woman, you would say عم تشحد. عم تشحد الملح. So see, this is a very idiomatic phrase, which the literal translation for it means he or she is begging for salt, but as somebody who's living in bad conditions. So this phrase, you would use it to refer to somebody's situation as being dire or bad. So you wouldn't use this phrase very lightly. It would use to refer to a situation which is really bad. Let's have a look at the phrase again. عم يشحد الملح. عم يشحد الملح. And this is the phrase when you're talking to refer to a man, and the phrase to use to talk about a woman, you would say عم تشحد. عم تشحد الملح. So very descriptive, to the point, to refer to somebody's situation being dire and bad, somebody who is living in a bad condition. A little break here before moving to our other phrases. If you're enjoying these videos and find them helpful, then don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, as these videos don't just take 2 minutes. If it was, I'll make a video every day. But these videos take a lot of time and effort into writing, editing. So if you're enjoying these sessions, then I would definitely appreciate some help towards making these videos. I'll leave a link in the description below if you would like to support the channel, hopefully to help me, to help you, and equally everybody else here who are benefiting from these videos, to help make more videos for everybody. So it'd be great to support the channel to help me to make you more videos. Many thanks in advance. Our next phrase is ما في بجيبته نقلة. ما في, there is no or there's nothing. بجيبته, in his pocket. نقلة, which is a nickel. So ما في بجيبته نقلة, he doesn't have a penny or a nickel in his or her pocket, meaning they're absolutely broke, they have nothing. So ما في بجيبته نقلة. And this phrase is used to talk or refer to a man. ما في بجيبته نقلة. And the phrase to use to talk about a woman, you would say ما في بجيبتها نقلة. ما في, there's nothing, there's no. Be in جيبة, which means a pocket. بجيبتها, in her pocket. ما في بجيبتها نقلة. ما في بجيبتها نقلة. ما في بجيبتها نقلة, and that's if you're talking about women. And ما في بجيبته نقلة, and that is if you're talking about a man. So you would use this phrase to refer to somebody's situation by absolutely being broke and have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. On the other hand, we've got some phrases to talk about somebody's being rich. So the very first and the very easy one, as a lot of you as it might spring to a lot of you. So it is كتير غني. كتير, which means very. غني is rich. And غنية, and that is for women. That's the feminine adjective. That's a female adjective. كتير غني, talking about man or describing a man. Very rich. كتير غنية, she's very rich. So كتير غنية, غنية. كتير غني, كتير غنية. The غ here is the equivalent of the French R or the German, which have a lot in German as well. So bonjour or reise. So that's the French or German R in pronunciation. So غ. That's غني. غني, masculine. غنية, feminine. Man, woman. Our next phrase, مليان. مليانة. مليان, مليانة. So this is one of these active participles used as an adjective, which I've touched upon it before. There are 14 active participle are used as adjectives, and I've covered them before. So if you have or need to look at them, just look up active participles as adjectives in Levantine Arabic in the video section. So have a look at it and you will see more of these. Really nice, really important, and are used on a daily basis. So check that video. مليان, which means full, and مليانة, that is full for woman, and that's you use to refer to a male, female. And مليان, as I previously mentioned, is an active participle. So مليان would be used for I man, you, and he. I masculine or man, he and you masculine. On the other side, مليانة would be used for I, female, you, female, and she. So one word could be used for 3 subject pronouns, for 3 people. That's the beauty of active participle. So that's the literal translation, but the overall translation, it means she or he is loaded. Somebody who's very rich. Okay, our next phrase is عظمه ذهب. عظمه ذهب. So عظم is bone. عظم is bone, and O is his. عظمه ذهب, and that's if you're talking about a man, which means his or her bones are made of gold. Very descriptive. And then if you talk about a woman, you would say عظمة ذهب. عظمة ذهب. So you see these are the possessive pronouns, and you see how we change the ownership from he to her by deleting the possessive pronoun for he and adding the possessive pronoun for her. So if you need a little bit more information on that, check the possessive pronouns tutorials, which I think one of it is nearly 45 minutes long. Yeah, so if you need a little bit more information, have a look at that. عظمه ذهب and عظمة ذهب. So عظمه ذهب, you're talking about he. عظمة ذهب, you're talking about she. So the literal translation for it, as you see here, which means her or his bones are made of gold. So it refers to somebody who's super rich. Somebody who is born with a golden spoon. And I think that's the actual phrases used a lot in English or Europe. But do let me know what this would be equivalent to your native language or in your culture. What would you use something equivalent to this, what you see on the screen? And to British English, sometimes people would say he, she is minted. So he, she is minted. Our next phrase is ورتان ثروة. ورتان ثروة. So ورتان is an adjective which means to inherit or inherited. This would be used again for I, male, you, and he. And again, this is an active participle. ورتان. 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 And as you see, this is the th, but people in dialect tend to soften it. So instead of the th as in the th in thank you, people would replace it with for a t in tango. So they would say ورتان. ورتان. But there's no harm of saying ورثان. ورتان ثروة. And ثروة is a fortune. ورتان ثروة. And that is if we're talking about male. ورتان ثروة. ورتان ثروة. ورتان. ورتان ثروة. And that's if we're talking about she, a female. And the translation, which is obvious. It means he, she inherited a fortune, or somebody to be born with a golden spoon, something the equivalent of that. So here it refers to somebody being very rich. And let me know if you do have something similar in your culture. And don't forget to write them in the comment section. Share it with everybody else. Our next phrase, we say عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب. So عم يلعب, he's playing بالمصاري, with money, so which means buy. المصاري, masari is money. Masari is money. لعب, playing. عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب, he's playing with the money. So عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب. And that's if you're talking about a male, a guy. عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب. عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب. It's a quite mouthful phrase with a lot of hinds in. So give it a good practice. And that's if you're talking about he, about a guy, a man. And if you're talking about a woman, you would say عم تلعب بالمصاري لعب. عم تلعب بالمصاري لعب. Of the phrases for a short time. Here in the community section, you will see that I post a lot of questions, a lot of quizzes. So if you would like to participate in some of these quizzes, and I post a lot of general information, a lot of information or quizzes about Arabic. So yeah, if you're interested in that, then always head to the community and you see a lot of quizzes. And I do post a lot of questions here. So yeah, always check the community section. And if you're interested and like these videos, then don't forget to support the channel through the membership and support my work to help you and help everybody in order to make more videos. We've got the playlists, you've got live, I think I did one, but not many. And you've got the videos. So if you click on the videos, you will see a lot of our videos and you could search for them most importantly. Let me go over the phrases back again. عم يلعب بالمصاري لعب. And that's if you're talking about a guy, a man. عم تلعب بالمصاري لعب. And that's if you're talking about women, about a female. عم تلعب بالمصاري لعب, which means he or she is playing with money, somebody's raking in cash. And with this phrase, we've reached the end of today's tutorial. So I hope you really enjoyed them and found them helpful. Don't forget to share some of your own cultural phrases in the comment section below and let me know which one was your favorite, if there was any. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Till next time, stay safe. Ma salame.